From the prehistoric pixelated nightmares of the 90s to the modern massive park builders, this is every single Jurassic Park game ever made. Before the movie even hit theaters, we got the very first Jurassic Park game, the Tiger Electronics Handheld. This was the ultimate low-tech survival horror. You're running across a series of static LCD screens, dodging a pixelated T-Rex and a few raptors. It's a pure test of reflexes and patience, not a cinematic experience. The NES version, developed by Ocean, is a bizarre top-down action game where you play as Alan Grant. The goal is to collect all the dinosaur eggs, which is a wild departure from the film's plot. It's infamous for its confusing level design and a complete lack of direction. The game's difficulty is brutal, and the graphics are a muddy mess. It's a relic of the early licensed game era, where developers were given a title and a deadline, and the result was often a confusing, frustrating experience. Sega's 8-bit take on the park was a more straightforward side-scrolling action platformer. You play as a raptor handler trying to recapture escaped dinosaurs. It's a solid, if unremarkable, entry that was identical on both the Game Gear and the Master System. It lacked the ambition of the 16-bit versions, but delivered a competent, fast-paced action game. It's a good example of a developer playing it safe and delivering a decent, portable experience. The Genesis version is a classic. It gives you a choice. Play as Dr. Alan Grant in a top-down action adventure, or play as a velociraptor in a side-scrolling brawler. The Grant levels are tense and exploration-focused, while the Raptor levels are pure, unadulterated carnage. This duality is what makes it stand out. It's a game that understood the appeal of the dinosaurs as much as the human element, and it's a must-play for any retro fan. The SNES version is arguably the most ambitious and polarizing of the 16-bit era. It's a massive, non-linear adventure where you explore the park in a top-down perspective, which then switches to a first-person shooter view inside buildings. It's famous for its incredible atmosphere, but also for its confusing objectives and punishing difficulty. It's a game that tried to do too much, but its sheer scale and ambition make it a fascinating piece of gaming history. The PC and Amiga versions were completely different, offering a more puzzle-focused, point-and-click adventure. You're navigating the park, solving environmental puzzles, and interacting with the environment in a much slower, more methodical way. It's a true adventure game that focuses on the intellectual side of survival, not just the action. It's a deep cut that shows the franchise experimenting with genres right from the start. The Sega CD version is a full-motion video point-and-click adventure. It's a truly unique, cinematic experience that uses the CD-ROM technology to its fullest. You're clicking on objects, solving puzzles, and watching full-screen video clips. It's a product of its time, a fascinating, if clunky, attempt to bring the movie experience home. It's a game that's more about the novelty of the technology than the gameplay itself. Amidst all the video games, Data East gave us a classic pinball machine. This table perfectly captured the movie's iconic moments, from the T-Rex breakout to the Raptor attack. It's a high-energy, fast-paced table with a fantastic soundtrack and a massive T-Rex head that eats the ball. It's a timeless classic that proves the Jurassic Park license works in any format, as long as the design is solid. The first of many arcade light gun shooters, this one put you in a Jeep, driving through the park and blasting dinosaurs with tranquilizer darts. It's pure adrenaline-fueled fun, a perfect arcade experience. It's a game that understood the simple joy of shooting dinosaurs and getting a high score. It's a classic cabinet that set the standard for all the Jurassic Park arcade games that followed. The Game Boy sequel was a massive improvement over the original NES game. It's a side-scrolling action game with a focus on mission objectives. You're running, jumping, and shooting through a series of levels, trying to contain the chaos. It's a solid, challenging handheld title that proved the developers had learned from their previous mistakes. The SNES sequel was a more linear, mission-based action game, ditching the confusing open world of the first. It's a run-and-gun shooter with a focus on two-player co-op, which was a huge addition. It's a much more accessible and polished experience than the original, but it lost some of the first game's unique atmosphere. The 3DO version is a bizarre collection of minigames wrapped in a full-motion video shell. It's a fascinating, if disjointed, attempt to use the 3DO's power. It's a game that's more of a tech demo than a cohesive experience, but it's a must-see for anyone interested in the history of FMV games. This was the Genesis sequel, and it lived up to its name. It's a faster, more violent, and more chaotic version of the original. You can now play as a more powerful, weapon-wielding Grant or a more aggressive Raptor. It's a pure action game that leans into the carnage. It's the definitive 16-bit action experience for the franchise, a perfect example of a sequel that simply gave the fans more of what they loved. The Genesis got one last hurrah with The Lost World. It's a side-scrolling platformer where you can play as 5 different characters, including a T-Rex and a Compsognathus. Each character has unique abilities, which adds a lot of replayability. It's a solid, late-era Genesis title that showed the console still had some life left in it. It's a great example of a licensed game that successfully adapted the movie's multiple perspectives. DreamWorks Interactive delivered a massive 3D action-adventure for the new generation of consoles. It's a visually impressive game for its time, but the controls are notoriously clunky. It's a game that was a technical marvel, but a frustrating experience to play. It's a classic example of early 3D growing pains. The second arcade light gun shooter was a massive step up from the first. It featured a huge moving cabinet and a more intense on-rails shooting experience. It's a spectacle, a true arcade monster that was designed to eat quarters. It's a perfect blend of the movie's action and the arcade's high-octane gameplay. It's a classic that you can still find in arcades today. This PC title was a real-time strategy game. You command a team of characters, including Dr. Ian Malcolm, and manage resources to survive on Isla Sorna. It's a unique take on the franchise, focusing on tactical planning and resource management. It's a deep, complex game that was a welcome change of pace from the action titles. It's a hidden gem for fans of the RTS genre. Trespasser is one of the most ambitious and disastrous games ever made. It was a first-person survival game with a revolutionary physics engine and a bizarre arm-waving control scheme. It's a cult classic for its sheer weirdness and its groundbreaking ideas. It's a game that failed commercially but influenced countless future titles. Finally, a pure dinosaur fighting game! Warpath was a 3D arena fighter where you control various dinosaurs from the T-Rex to the Spinosaurus. It's a simple, brutal brawler that was pure fan service. It's a game that delivered on the fantasy of watching 2 massive dinosaurs duke it out. It's a fun, if shallow, fighting game that's a must-play for any dinosaur enthusiast. The GBA era kicked off with the DNA Factor, a side-scrolling action game with a puzzle twist. You collect DNA samples to unlock new dinosaurs, which you can then use in battle. It's a solid, if repetitive, platformer that added a collecting element to the action. It's a decent handheld title that set the stage for the GBA's run of Jurassic Park games. This was the first true park management simulator on a handheld. You're building your own park, managing resources, and trying to keep your guests safe. It's a simplified version of the classic sim genre, but it was a massive time sink on the GBA. It's a great example of a developer successfully translating a complex genre to a portable system. Island Attack was a more traditional side-scrolling action game, focusing on the survival elements of the third film. It's a challenging, fast-paced platformer that was a solid entry in the GBA lineup. It's a game that delivered on the action, but it's easily forgotten among the many other GBA platformers of the era. The third arcade shooter was another massive on-rails experience, blasting dinosaurs with a mounted gun. It's a pure spectacle, a loud, chaotic arcade game that was a perfect tie-in to the third film. It's a game that proves the arcade formula for Jurassic Park is a timeless classic. This PC game was a turn-based strategy title aimed at a younger audience. You collect and battle dinosaurs in a simplified tactical combat system. It's a fun, accessible game that was a great way to introduce kids to the strategy genre. It's a niche title, but it's a solid entry in the franchise's long history of genre experimentation. This is the one. Operation Genesis is the park builder that fans had been waiting for. It's a deep, complex management sim where you design, build, and run your own park. It's a masterpiece of the genre, a game that perfectly captured the fantasy of the film. It's a cult classic that set the standard for all future park builders, and it's still played and modded today. Released on the PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii, this first-person shooter was a pure, unadulterated dinosaur blasting experience. It's a fast-paced, linear shooter that throws hordes of dinosaurs at you. It's not a deep or complex game, but it's a ton of fun. It's a game that knows exactly what it is, a high-energy, arcade-style shooter that's all about the thrill of the hunt. It's a solid, if forgettable entry that's a great way to blow off some steam. Telltale Games brought their signature narrative adventure style to the franchise. This episodic game tells a parallel story to the first film, focusing on new characters and a more cinematic experience. It's a game that prioritizes story and character over gameplay, and it's a great way to dive deeper into the lore. It's a solid entry that proved the franchise could work in a modern, narrative-focused format. Traveler's Tales delivered their signature LEGO charm to the first 4 films. It's a hilarious, family-friendly action-adventure that retells the entire saga with LEGO humor. It's a massive, content-rich game that's a perfect celebration of the franchise. It's a must-play for fans of both LEGO games and Jurassic Park. This mobile game was a park builder with a focus on turn-based dinosaur combat. You're collecting, breeding, and battling dinosaurs in a simplified, addictive system. It's a massive, content-rich game that was a huge success on mobile. It's a game that proved the park building and battling formula was a perfect fit for the mobile market. The fourth arcade shooter was a massive high-definition spectacle. It's a modern take on the classic light gun formula with a focus on massive, detailed dinosaurs and a high-energy experience. It's a game that proves the arcade is still the best place to experience the pure, unadulterated action of the franchise. This was the franchise's answer to Pokemon Go. It's an augmented reality game where you collect and battle dinosaurs in the real world. It's a fun, innovative game that brought the dinosaurs to life in a whole new way. It's a game that proved the franchise could successfully adapt to the modern AR gaming landscape. Frontier Developments delivered the spiritual successor to Operation Genesis. It's a deep, modern park management sim with stunning graphics and a massive roster of dinosaurs. It's a game that finally gave fans the modern, high-fidelity park builder they had been dreaming of. It's a masterpiece of the genre and a must-play for any fan of the franchise. The sequel to Evolution built on the success of the first, adding new biomes, a deeper management system, and a massive roster of prehistoric creatures. It's a game that refined the formula and delivered the definitive park management experience. It's a massive, content-rich game that's a perfect example of a sequel that truly improves on the original. This VR title is a pure survival horror experience. You're trapped in a research facility trying to evade a pack of velociraptors. It's a tense, terrifying game that uses the power of VR to its fullest. It's a game that finally delivered on the pure horror of being hunted by a dinosaur. It's a must-play for any VR enthusiast. This collection brought back the classic 8-bit and 16-bit games, including the NES, SNES, and Game Boy titles. It's a perfect dose of nostalgia, a chance to relive the frustrating yet charming games of the past. It's a great way to experience the history of the franchise and a testament to the enduring appeal of these classic titles. The latest entry in the Park Builder series is here, and it's the biggest and most ambitious yet. Evolution 3 has delivered on its promise, bringing new features, a massive roster of dinosaurs, and a sprawling campaign that redefines the park management experience. It's a game that proves the park building formula is still the heart of the franchise, and it's the definitive modern Jurassic Park simulator. The most anticipated game on this list is the upcoming survival title. It's a first-person, single-player action-adventure set just after the events of the first film. It promises a tense, narrative-driven experience that finally delivers on the promise of a true survival game on Isla Nublar. It's a game that could redefine the franchise for a new generation. From the Tiger Handheld to the modern Evolution, the Jurassic Park franchise has always found a way. Now, let us know in the comments, which Jurassic Park game is your favorite?
Subscribe, or get eaten by a T-Rex.